Hey guys, thank you for tuning in to another episode of InRange. You're joining me for the June 2019 Q&A with a bunch of questions provided by our loyal and wonderful Patreon supporters. I'm here in New Orleans with the incredible Mississippi River behind me, and as a result, I'm able to invite another famous firearms-related content creator to me to join me right here today.
Hi, what's up guys? Steve again for InRangeTV. Got my man Karl right here. Well, we got another viewer question sesh coming out of the mailroom. All right. Got to get ourselves and a beat of strawberry to do that properly. And of course, we want to make sure we do thank all of our patrons. If you're on Patreon, not only can you submit questions, you are entered into that monthly drawing. And we thank our sponsor, BlueAlphaApron.com, for all your tactical cooking needs. You can win this Molly-compatible spatula.
Motherfucker. I heard there was some imposter James Reeves fucking walking around New Orleans, and of course, it's Deviant fucking Ollam. I've got something, a little hospitality for you guys.
Oh boy.
Oh man, oh shit, he's got a shotgun, man. No two-gun here.
No, man, you're gonna get a little New Orleans hospitality. Of course, Karl, that's for you.
All right, here we
a
go.
little beat of strawberry.
A beat of strawberry.
Excellent,
That's
excellent.
for you, Deviant. I've got a little bonus for you.
Really?
There, a lot of people don't know I'm an attorney is my day job.
I did know that, but I'm now worried about intellectual property
Identity
rights.
theft is not a joke.
James Thundermeat Reeves v. Deviant the Virgin Ollam. Oh my god, counts of identity theft, trademark infringement, and being an asshole. I'm pretty sure I have absolutely no lawyer getting me off on that last one, but I'll fight it.
No,
Oh my
look,
God.
don't worry about it.
How
First
many
of all,
billion damages?
yeah. Listen, don't worry about it. I know a lawyer. It's me. I will
Oh.
represent you against myself. And yeah, read through all those. Read through those pages. I'll represent you
Oh my
against
God.
myself. I could probably get you a great deal, like half off, 60, 70%
Forged
off.
fabrications.
What I'm curious
Any
about is,
natural person.
what's the official legal definition of asshole? I really don't know. I've
Ex-
never looked up
Exhibit
that.
A
Is
right
that in
here.
the code here?
Destroyed documents. I haven't destroyed this yet.
No, that's actual legal pleading, so please don't
God.
read those. I took those out of my recycle bin and stapled them. to
I'm
the front.
concerned that
The
this
front
shirt-
the front part was a joke. No, thank you guys for having me on here. I'm glad you guys are in New Orleans.
Yeah.
I know. In Comic Sans, I usually don't do my my pleadings in Comic Sans either.
Well, all right.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
Salute.
Cheers. Shall we start a Q&A?
Oh God. I don't know anything. I'm just gonna sit here.
Oh, I have a feeling that's not the case. But I'm going to start off with an announcement because one of our Patreon supporters said something that they just asked I could announce it. Daniel B. I've gotten permission to start a two-gun action challenge match at my gun club, Bluewater Sportsmans Association in Port Huron, Michigan. Congratulations. It's hard to get anything started at any club anymore. It's all like locked down with the old stuff. So that's cool. I need to confirm interest to satisfy our board. Could you plug my details? motorcity2gun@gmail.com to get on the list and get details. So guys, if you're interested in a two-gun action challenge match, I don't know Daniel, but I think that it's a noble effort because it is a thankless job trying to run a match. Email him at motorcity2gun@gmail.com and maybe that'll help him get this happening at his local club. That'd be cool.
Awesome.
Nice to see that expand. Shall we go ahead and start with some of these questions? I'm going to jump around a little bit. Matthew B. Do you see Desert Tech coming out with more caliber conversions from the MDR, such as 300 Blackout, 6.5, 6.8, etc.? Have you used the MDR?
I haven't used the MDR. I've handled it a lot. I love this helicopter taking off.
Yeah, it's
literally, it's like
perfect
as soon as
sound.
you try
Helicopters
to
are already
answer
on
a
us.
Q&A.
It's okay.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the MDR.
Yeah.
Handled it. Talked to the Desert Tech people. I think I made a meme. You know, it was the one where the guy he's like waking up in the hospital bed,
Yeah.
and it's like, is it still 2014? It's like, oh no, you're in 2019. Oh, okay. Well, the MDR must be out in 300 Blackout, right? You know, it's like I made a meme like that.
Yeah, sure.
You know, a couple years ago because those guys. I mean, great. I think they make a great product. It seems like it. Haven't shot one yet.
Okay.
I mean, I know that there's some mixed feelings about it, but you kind of get, and I don't mean this in the pejorative, but like a Hudson vibe, where it's like a boutique manufacturer, and it really makes you question what they're actually capable of in terms of versatility, right? I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting you say that because Desert Tech's actually been very successful with their precision rifles for a long time, and the MDR is their first entry into a semi-automatic. I will say that I've shot them extensively at this point, and I much prefer the 5.56 to the 308. It handles like a different beast.
are they out in the market? I mean,
Yeah.
Can you buy one now?
The 308 is out, and the 5.56 conversion kits are now just hitting the market. So that's a real thing. And in the 5.56 conversion kit, it's straight out listed 300 Blackout. Now, I didn't ask them what the dates are on that, but I think 300 Blackout's coming. Now, if you want 300 Blackout or not, that's a whole nother question, isn't it?
Oh, come on. Don't talk shit about 300 Blackout. I love 300. But, I mean, you're talking about only changing out the barrel, really. I mean, that's all you'd have to do, right?
Well, but you're also talking about exploding gun.
Yeah, true.
But we have another question about 300 Blackout. But, yeah, no, as far as I know, I personally have one in 308 and in 5.56, and my beard just fell, but I'm okay.
Oh, my God. Did you just drop the precious?
No, he did. All right. It's good. We're good. I have it in 308 and 5.56 already, and 300 Blackout is coming as far as I'm aware of. So there's that question. Luna, what are your opinions about those who gear up and play airsoft against one another? Is it normally looked down upon or even ridiculed in the gun community? So I was wondering, what are your guys' opinions about it? Let's start with Dave.
I think I joke answered this on the Patreon thread where I said, I've really impressed with the amount of training and skill and technique and prowess displayed by the airsoft community. Not at all in the field, I don't know much about that, but as far as video editing goes, every airsoft video I've ever seen has like multi-camera smash cuts and there's superimposed markers and like stuff scrolling by.
Yeah.
So, boy, talk about passion in a community.
Every one of those videos is like a small episode of Black Hawk Down.
Absolutely.
What are your thoughts?
I don't know. I almost see it as like the kid brother of the gun community, and that is it ridiculed? Yes.
Yeah,
Do people pick on it? Yes. Is it fun to do it? Yeah, and hell yeah, I'll do it too. But at the end of the day, you have people who are typically firearms enthusiasts, or if they're too young to be firearms enthusiasts, they will be someday, which is a good thing. And I mean, I think you do actually pick up practical skills. I'm not going to lie, like in the past few weeks, I've thought about just picking up an airsoft gun for the backyard to work on transitions, target-to-target transition,
interesting.
manipulation, so on. And I think that those are like these airsoft guns that are coming out. Now, I wouldn't tell anybody about it, you know? When it's like
you're a closet airsoft?
Yeah, it's like fucking a fat chick, you know? Like I might do it and not say a word to anybody, not say anything to my friends. But I it's fun to pick on them. But I think that there's some real value there on the I guess enthusiast side and on the practical side.
So my take on this is that it has very little interplay in terms of learning how to actually handle and use firearms or marksmanship. What I do think it does is, especially in the mil-sim airsoft environments, it provides something that matches do not, which is tactics, communication, and physicality. And so if your interests are in that sort of thing, which is actually working with a bunch of people and actually trying to achieve a goal in a quote-unquote tactical sim environment, I think airsoft provides an opportunity that actual real firearms generally do not, except in very controlled environments. So depending on the airsoft you're playing, if it's like a mil-sim event and your goal is to emphasize the communication and tactics, I think there's a heck of a lot to learn from airsoft. What you're not going to learn is gun stuff. That's my take. All right, so let's go to the next one. Mattia S. Now, he's talking to me, but this is for all of us. I remember you guys weren't fond of bullpups for a number of reasons. Is your general opinion about bullpups the same? You want to start, James?
I like bullpups. I mean,
Okay.
I think you get the same ballistic performance out of, God, I feel this thing breaking. I've had this in my backyard for like 2 years. It's going to fall through any second now, and that's going to be millions of views.
It won't be the blooper reel. It'll
yeah.
be right in the normal video.
Yeah, perfect. And
Okay.
I wouldn't have it any other way. Gosh, I'm not sure. I'd have to look at my collection. Oh, an AUG. I've got an AUG, and I love it. Triggers are shitty, generally speaking.
Yep.
But you get the same ballistic performance in a compact package like you would get out of an M4. I'm for them. I like them. I get the criticisms. I'm also right-handed, so it makes it easier for me. But I mean, I like them. But I also understand every criticism and can't disagree with that either.
Is that the only bullpup you've used?
Oh, no. I've used Tavor, AUG, the Tavor 7. Haven't used the MDR, like I said. I know you guys definitely have gotten around more bullpups than I have, but I mean, quite a few. But off the top of my head, those are some that I would actually own. I'll probably get an X95 at some point.
Sure. Have you used bullpups?
Only like handling Ian's FAMAS and other things like that.
Yeah, you
just
have
for
handled,
fun.
but you've handled the FAMAS.
Yeah, Joe, who comes to the shoot, he would bring an AUG. Ultimately, I'm not in a mechanized division in a tank. I'm fine with an AR platform for me.
Okay.
The compromises that you are looking to make with a bullpup are incredible for the situations where that's dictated. My family is in the service. I'm not. Like, I don't have constraints. My closet fits a full-size rifle just fine.
Okay. I still have to come out with, I'm still on board with I don't have a fondness for bullpups. And my reason for this is pretty much you give up almost everything in terms of ergonomics and handling. You sacrifice it all at the altar of overall length. Now, you maintain ballistics.
And
Go ahead.
remediating malfunctions.
That's the
as
biggest
you've
one.
shown in
On some
matches.
guns versus more than others. So like, for example, in an AUG or a Tavor, you can actually open up the action and you can visually identify what's going on in the chamber. In an FS2000, PS90 to a lesser degree, and the MDR is actually very difficult in this regard. If something goes wrong in the gun because it's a mechanical device, seeing what went wrong is pretty much a you don't. You cannot find out what's going on. So that means you're either transitioning to your secondary or you're doing in-the-field missile repair on your gun while there's something going on, whether it's time stress or something else. Now, if you're plinking, who cares? But when it comes to something that's serious, that matters a lot more. And I also personally feel that a lot of those guns are heavier than a lot of other options that you could have, like super lightweight ARs. And I would much rather deal with the ballistic penalty of a short-barreled AR and the weight, and not sacrifice the ergonomics, but also maintain a weight advantage that all of these bullpups seem to incur. So they balance funny.
No, I mean, well said.
And
that's the criticism.
It is, and the balance points are weird. So one of the things that I do when I'm shooting on the clock, when I go prone, I always want to monopod my gun if I can. And I know that that's something that some people in the audience have a consternation about, but anything you can do to be more stable for a long-range shot or a quick shot on the clock or anything is a good thing. And monopodding with all the bullpups is problematic, to use the word of 2019. Problematic. Let's go to a deviant question, but I think we can all address these, although some of them are focused. John G. Hey guys, this one's for deviant. What's the most crude but effective physical security measure you've encountered professionally?
Oh, I think I may have even put the comment, if you were the one asking this, John, it's the albino alligator. Albino alligator protects your ass. Not crawling out of the river behind us. No, so if anyone has seen my videos attacking a lot of doors, not manipulating locks, just bypassing mechanisms. So slipping latches or using my destroyer of worlds, the underdoor tool, right? Underdoor attack, for those who don't know, you're actually just reaching up to the inside. You're outside a door. You can insert a rod and a line, grab the inside handle, because as you know with law and code, when's the last time you've seen a door knob on a commercial building? You don't. It's a lever style handle set. And for egress code, those are always going to open the door for the most part. If you hit that handle, it doesn't matter if the door's locked or badge, who gives a shit. So under door tool, reaches up, yank on a cord, the door pops open. People have put various devices to shroud around the handle on the inside. So there's like you can look in the Grainger catalog. There are these, they're called door shrouds. They're door handle shrouds. So if you're pushing a cart by the door, you don't get hung up on the doorknob. It's a large piece of plastic that kind of just
Duct tape
trapezoids.
a cereal bowl.
Yeah, you could duct tape a cereal bowl.
Actually, you could.
Stick your hand in there. So my best, like that level of solution, my buddy sent me these photos of this little white plastic clip that was screwed into a door, and it was framing all sides of the door handle. And, you know, you could push the door handle down, but I'm looking at it, I'm like, Jesus, imagining trying to fish the cord around, that would be a fucking nightmare. And he asked the building manager, he's like, hey, is this because of that underdoor attack? Like, oh yeah, we had people breaking into rooms, like we're at a hotel. Like we heard of that. We had to put these clips on. And if you look, maybe I'll give you the photo, you drop it in as a card, like, it looks like a little alligator is like holding the door handle. And he was like, where'd you get these awesome security clips? And they're like, well, you know, the bedroom in the room you're renting has that sliding closet door. It's these little track guides that go.
Oh my God.
And for like $4 at Home Depot, this company just, you know, put all their doors have these little white alligators. But I was like, I don't know how I would try to get another door tool around that son of a bitch. It's the most hacky, silly thing that defeats an otherwise really effective attack.
You know, it's really interesting.
I was going to say that about your shorts.
I don't know how you
Those
wear
pasty
these, man.
thighs.
Those shirts would defeat a physical attack as well, I think,
Yes.
actually. But I was, you know, it's when you talk about this, it's so much of the similarities between InfoSec, physical security, guns, all these things still apply. Like what you're talking about, for example, about why the door handle unlatches from the rear side for safety and security reasons, or not even security reasons, for safety reasons. You're inside the building, there's a fire, you need to get out, it can't be locked both ways because you can't unlock the door to get out, so you burn alive. So the latch is always unlocked from the internal side. So that is an interesting, it's a paradigm in which we're giving up security for safety?
In a sense.
Maybe? That's weird.
There's more fires in the world than there are burglars in the world, possibly. I don't know.
Are there, though? But I mean, no, but it's interesting. I'm not saying that that's a good or a bad thing. What I'm saying is it's an interesting thing to think about, that those paradigms, when you turn one knob for security, you might be turning the knob the other way for something else and vice versa.
Yeah, and it's the same in gun culture and gun engineering. Everything's a trade-off. How many caliber debates do we have? how many manual of arms, do you want to have it released this way or this many foot-pounds or this many foot-pounds? Everything's a trade-off.
I'd rather carry a shotgun into a gunfight, but I can't go to my office with one slung over my shoulder.
You could try.
True. They'd probably let me.
Do it on video. It'll get all the clicks.
Yeah. Millions of views.
All right, here's another one I think that's actually for Deviant, but we can all probably talk about this one a little bit, or at least our ideas. Rhys. Best security improvement to an apartment or an apartment door in which a heavy modification may be frowned upon.
Yeah, so depends what you define as heavy, sir. My parents' houses, various places they've lived, they're not apartments, they're houses, but they didn't want to re-engineer everything and have me come and rip a bunch of stuff out and reinstall things. It's the old, this is an 80s product, man. It was called the Door Club. The only, actual drilling install is a tiny, tiny hole you put right in the floor on the inside.
That's a modification, but I guess it depends
on a little brass fitting. I don't think a landlord would notice. You pull the brass out, you pound a little wood plug back in, your floor is covered up. If it's carpet, no one's seeing it. But the Door Club is just a little brass sort of Y-shaped tool that you can hang on the back of your door on the inside. And at night, it's a night lock. You drop it in the hole, and either it doesn't allow the door to move at all, or if you spin it 180, it'll allow the door just to barely crack open. Now, if you want no modification whatsoever, we talk about this a lot with guns and prepping. Your best modification is to actually be a nice person who knows your neighbors. You have some
friends.
Are you
talking about the power of community?
Though.
Yes, have a community of people who will
community.
Feed your dog when you're away and let you know if somebody shady was in the backyard. That's a modification I've upgraded my life with. I don't like most of my neighbors, but I like a few of them.
Some might argue that community is a heavy modification to some lives.
I think to give him the most genuine answer, what I think at the middle of the road, but it's a genuine answer. If you have a door and you have a deadbolt, not a regular latch, even a dead latch, you want a proper deadbolt, which your door should have. If it doesn't, your landlord can't object to putting a deadbolt in. And make sure the screws on your deadbolt hardware are long, heavy-duty screws. Long fasteners that go all the way through the framing, through the molding, and into the house frame.
You'll frequently find little wood screws that they don't defeat anything.
Yeah.
Have you ever done the apartment life?
I personally, I'll go around, people throw away large appliances, dryers, washing machines, refrigerators. You get one of those, and any door you want to keep secure, you just put a large appliance.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Fuck, man, I'm telling you, it is really difficult to get through that door, and also it's an appliance. Your landlord's walking around. There's I can't open this door, but I mean, look. It's a dryer there, it's the guy can have a dryer in his apartment. So that's my strategy.
That's almost the zombie movie.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, it works perfectly. I mean, it makes kind of getting to rooms a little bit more difficult, but I mean, almost rooms. 60% of the time it works every time.
Mine's simpler than both, and it's one that I don't know if it's legal, and I don't really care. I lived in a lot of apartments for a long time in which I had, I would say, sometimes slumlord type management, and they're not allowed to go into your apartment without permission. They have to say, we have to provide you permission, so much notice before we're coming into your apartment. They have the right to go into the apartment, but they only have so much. They have to provide you knowledge they're going to do that. Well, that means that if the deadbolt was changed on that door and they tried to do it without permission, how do they tell me? They can't tell me they tried to do this. And if I know that they're going to come, I just put the old deadbolt back in. And that was my mechanism for preventing slumlord type creepy people from coming into my apartment without notification, and they do that. And so it's one of those things where exposing the knowledge that you've changed it, as long as you make sure it superficially looks the same, is them playing their hand, letting you know they were doing something they weren't allowed to do in the first place.
Tangent, and you guys are probably familiar with this. I got the indoor Nest camera.
Oh, yes.
And pretty fucking impressive.
No,
I mean,
it's
it instant to your phone. Mm-hmm. It saves everything. It's all uploaded to the cloud, so it's they destroy it. So, and you can talk through it. Yeah. So, I mean, it's not like a physical barrier,
of course not.
Which is way more fun, obviously. But still, I've been really impressed. I mean, when my cat jumps up on the island, which she knows she shouldn't do.
Oh, yeah.
When she does that when I'm at work, boom, I get a
We have a detection zone just called Get Down.
That's funny.
Because we know what's up. Yeah, we have, now, it's because it's interesting. A lot of people are squeamish about it indoors. Ours is on an outlet that just has a switch. So when we're home, we don't have it on. But the moment we leave, it's just part of our routine to flip the switch, and it's on.
Yeah.
The outdoor ones are on all the time.
Yeah. So if you don't want the Nest surveillance thingy, which I'm there are reasons to argue for and against.
Oh, sure.
The deadbolt change really is an intrusion detection device. It lets you know when someone attempted a penetration that should not have been there. So, it's a good thing. All right, let's move on to a more general question. And I know how much you love historic guns, James, so let's go with this one.
Oh, this will be great.
Here we go.
Brodie K, even though the T-48 was a better choice, do you see the adaptation of the M14 instead as necessary to get us to the AR platform?
What even is that?
So, of course, the M14, you're familiar with
Yeah,
the M14.
yeah.
So essentially I think what they're trying to say here is, was the M14 really what moved us forward to ultimately get us to the AR-15?
Man, Brodie, you understand Ian wasn't going to be on this episode, right? I mean, I own an M1A. I enjoy my M1A, and I understand that it had a myriad of inconsistent, bad fit for every mission we tried to press it into. It was the shortest-lived service rifle, right, for our military?
Should have been shorter.
Are we talking about like from an engineering standpoint, or like it paved the way from?
I think he's saying that was the
standpoint?
adaptation of the M14 necessary to get us there. Like,
Or was he saying, did it give us the push? Were
Yeah.
enough people dissatisfied?
I
Well,
mean,
here's-
if that's the
yeah.
question,
Yeah, that's a good
that
point.
makes sense.
Yeah, 'cause
that makes more sense.
they could have
than
picked
how I
something better, they
initially
picked something worse, and therefore, did that ultimately get us to the AR because the M14 was such
I could see that.
Okay.
I'm sure
I
it
mean,
played a part.
yeah, of course, that's where my knowledge picks up around 1964 when the M16.
When real guns came out?
Yeah, when real guns actually, functional guns that didn't break constantly.
Yeah. Before that, they fought wars with clubs that had this metal pipe that came out the front that occasionally launched a
God,
bullet.
so lame. War was probably super boring.
Think so?
No, I doubt it.
It's more fun
It was
now. It's
yeah.
way more fun now, right?
Yeah, it was probably actually, well, not even fun. I guess way more terrifying.
Yeah, it's all
back then.
terrifying.
Yeah, sure.
And in regards to this, I don't think it makes a difference. I think the M14 was pushed inappropriately into adaptation because of the biases against a new aluminum for fiberglass system. And the M14 was just some piece of shit was going to get adopted based on military adaptation bias before we got to a better thing.
Where does the FAL come? I'm sure you've probably opined about this before. I'm not familiar with your opinion on the M14 versus FAL, the adoption, because I know that's always a hot topic.
Yeah, it is. That's interesting. If you had to push me into a corner and make me pick one of those three rifles, I would take the FAL. However, if you had to do that to me, I would still go above and beyond that and go with the G3 or the 70 platform.
Okay, interesting.
The delayed
blowback.
Yeah.
The delayed roller blowback has no adjustable gas system and pretty much eats everything. The FAL has essentially X times Y squared gas settings, and you'll never quite get it right. That's my feeling.
Yeah,
with the FAL.
I know, but I feel like you have a little bit more versatility in terms of what you're doing with the FAL, or as
Talking
FAL.
ergonomics, you're talking about ammunition?
No, gas adjustment. So
Okay.
I like being able to adjust the gas. I also like the fact that, like, literally a one-armed 8-year-old can take apart, can strip down an FAL, where a G3 or a set B is a little bit more complicated. Not much.
It requires a little more strength, too,
Right,
actually.
right. Yeah. So I mean, it's I think servicing the FAL, but we're going way beyond the scope of the question.
We are.
But I mean, for me, I appreciate again. I love the G3. I think the M14's okay, but the FAL is the tits. We're talking 308 battle rifles. That's that for me.
It's funny you mentioned the adjustable gas system as a positive, and I'm not going to say that you're wrong, but I find that if I have to change the gas system on a gun, I'm like, why is this broken?
I understand.
That kind of like you are about the old guns. Like,
Yeah.
Like, I should be able to put pretty much anything in this and fire it, and if I can't, I don't really like it.
I like tuning it, being able to tune it towards what you're shooting with, the conditions of the rifle, adjusting the gas up and down as your needs may require.
I just want to put anything in it, including partially bent steel
read
case,
you.
and shoot it.
I like the Rattler because it's just got a paddle, plus and minus paddle, the SIG Rattler. I don't know. you
I have
shot
not,
that yet?
actually,
Yeah,
no.
yeah. It's all they have is a plus or minus paddle, so you get more gas, you get less gas.
Really?
So yeah, it's like it's tuning, but
It's like
just
shifting
binary.
paddle shifters on your car.
Yeah, I mean it's
I haven't
literally
used it
Think
at
of
all.
that too.
Yeah.
It's hidden under the. I mean, it's accessible with a finger, but
Yeah.
it's hidden under the handguard, and so you can reach up and then paddle left, it goes down, paddle right, it goes up. But that's it. It's like a seesaw. So it's one or the other.
Yep.
It's two settings. So I think that's pretty cool. God, we went way beyond this.
No, but that's the stuff that's interesting about these types of questions, actually.